I can't say popular demand, but I'll say majority demand, with another episode of VoltAge Genesis. So, sorry I'm starting up a couple minutes late, just trying to kind of get myself settled and in and on my account so I can see what's being said. I got distracted. I was trying to get apparently Twitch Studio has updated, and now there's like a new thing you can do where they just automatically have a chat overlay that pops up for a second and then goes away like OBS does and Streamlabs does. And I was hoping that I could like very, very quickly activate that, but I could not very quickly activate that. So I'll have to figure that out tomorrow. I'm off for pretty much the entire day, and I might spend part of it just fucking around and trying to get some stuff straight. So give a couple more minutes for people to trickle in as I send out messages and things. I guess I should probably retweet this on the account that actually made the game. Let's see. And then... Phenomenal, sir! Here we go. Retweet. 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 Yeah, it ended up being 2 votes to 1, so it's what I expected. I can't be upset. Can't be upset for being right. So, I would really love to have figured out, because see, now I don't know if that little update is going to pop up again to tell me how to do this, and I want to know how to do this thing with the pop-ups where people are talking and it's popping up. So, anyway, yeah, I guess I'll take away the channel points redeems that I can't do today before we get started, because I'm all out of pickle juice, so we can't do that. I'll turn on show and tell. Yeah, got Sippies on. Always got Snap Crackle Pop on. And yeah, looks good to me. As good as it's going to be, at least. So, without further ado, what are we testing? What were you trying to test, Calred? I don't have the new update thing done, but I'm gonna figure it out. No, I'm not gonna fool with it right now, because I don't even. When I turned Twitch Studio on, it popped up and was like, "Hey, did you know you can do this now?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. Tell me more." And then it closed. So I'm gonna have to figure it out later. And but the little demo clip they were showing basically had it like popping up in the corner. So anyway, so like while people are people would be talking, it just automatically swoops in and then goes. That's my swoosh sound. So anyway, so last time we left off, we had just gotten Stark, and we were kind of doing a little bit of fighting before we tried to cross the mountains. Nolan has apparently lost his passport, so the only way to get to Kaluna, so we can try to help Gregory find out who he is to cut through the mountains. So first, we'd have to go through Tree Hugger territory, which isn't too bad. We spent a little bit of time just fighting some stuff, just so that we could get a couple things of gear. As you can see, these enemies are a bit higher level than we are, but I'm not worried because I made the game, so I know I'll be fine, probably. As long as they don't double tap Nolan and kill him. Shell beasts are weak against fire, question mark, and piercing attacks. So that pyro shot ability is great because it's getting 2 extra damage hits for the price of 1. Have Gregory use recovery, and then hopefully what'll happen is that Gregory will heal everybody up in battle, and then Nolan will immediately wrap everything up, and we'll be full health and ready to keep on rolling. The little broken heart symbol is the bleed status effect, which just causes you to lose 3% of your maximum HP every round. It wears off over time, but it can also be healed or it can be removed just by doing normal healing. So go, go, go! Oh. Level 25 warrior. These guys are what we're scared of around here, is the warriors and the chanters. If I was willing to dip into the slightly higher level areas that are just to the right of us, I could try to steal even better gear from them, but I don't know that it's necessarily worth it, because we've, believe it or not, kind of been quick about advancing in the game. And where we're at right now in terms of progress, we don't really have any characters that would benefit from the stuff that we can steal from them. I will have Stark try to put one of them to sleep, though, just so that they'll lose a turn. Yes. Well, I don't know if he went to sleep. That's a headache symbol. I think he's just got lowered. Yeah, he's just got lowered mental stats. Oh, F it. Alright, Stark, don't screw me, bro. Oh, Stark. They are giving us an ass whooping and a half. Whew. That 4%, man. 4% crit rate. Seems a bit generous, but okay. Getting a lot more than what feels like 4%. So this is the Trebunko Mountain Pass. This is the start of the Trebunko Mountain Pass. The dead-handers robbed me and stole my papers, so the underground road is closed for me. But it looks so dangerous. One wrong step and I'm toast. Maybe I should just pay the dead-handers for some fakes? That is a trick. A trick that I did. You cannot buy fake papers from the dead-handers. At one point, there was going to be an opportunity. You could have done a quest for 8 of Spades, and he would have rewarded you with the papers, so you could have either done the quest for him and then been able to skip this area entirely, or you could just do this area and then not do the quest for him. But the area that it was going to be in, I decided I would prefer to have that be a higher level quest, so I just kind of said forget about it, and yeah. Bristle Bees. So Bristle Bees are actually pretty nasty for a tiny enemy, because they get to attack twice. They don't always attack the same enemy the same target both times. They do choose targets at random, but they also have a really high counter rate, which can be a little nerve-wracking, especially when you've got Bridget so low in health. And because they are a small enemy, they do have a high evasion. So between their high evasion and their very high counter rate, it can actually be surprisingly dangerous to fight them. They're not super common, but we do need them for a quest later on. There's a quest to gather stuff from them. Hunter drones. This will be an easy one. Every single member of our party has something that the hunter drones are weak against. If they could just hit. Alright. So these, honestly, it's interesting because the combat in this area, it feels like you're a little bit out of your depth. But I can promise you, we're probably not. Because whenever you level up, you will get all your HP and your AP back. So if you just kind of keep moving forward, at this level, we should be able to just kind of like wing and a prayer all the way through this area and just keep getting our health and AP back naturally from level ups and not have to worry too much about running out of AP. I did buy some AP restores last time, though, if I recall correctly. If I didn't, then I'll be sad. Oh, Nolan's passive just went off for the first time. We'll have to check that out. I don't think I showed that off last time. But Nolan gets to go twice this turn, which will be really nice. It's one down. Ooh. Oh. So the sentry drones are nasty. They've got two really good abilities. Their stats are nothing really crazy to write home about. As you can see, you can usually two-shot them, and that'll be enough to kill them. But their moves are both very good, and their passive actually gives them a slight bonus to critical hits and accuracy. But their abilities, they can use Barrage, which just like Barrage for the players, Barrage... Oh, another one. Huh. 2 in a row. Lucky us. Barrage will attack a single target 3 times, which at this level could be instant death for Gregory or Bridget. Their second ability is Mech Laser, which is an attack that just rakes the entire party with a machine element laser beam. And it can be pretty nasty too. So, getting all them wasp stingers though. Collecting the wasp stingers. Get them. I don't think I should have gone up here. I think this was a wasted trip. Yeah, this was a wasted trip. This cave would have just curved off to the right and there'd have been nothing in there. I was running my mouth and got distracted. Just so I feel a little bit better about putting the extra steps on my characters. Both of those caves off to the right are empty. Get back where we were supposed to be. Using that little teeny stealth field. Get him, Stark. Fuck him up. Yes. See, even enemies that resist the element that he's doing, they'll still take decent damage just because he's hitting them multiple times. So Nolan's starter passive is Twist of Fate. Sometimes all you need is a second chance. Nolan will occasionally get an extra turn in battle, and it's a 5% chance. So he has a 5% chance every round to go twice. While it's clear this campsite has been abandoned for quite some time, the tent looks clean enough. Rest for a while? Yeah. Uh-oh. There we go. Mech laser. Boom. Now, as a rule of thumb, anytime you go into a cave and you see water and that little bit of green like that, you should check the area because there's almost always going to be at least one cave mushroom to gather. And you don't really think about them because it's kind of it's only, I think it's like 100 HP and 10 AP plus the HP AP regen effect. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it can help a lot, especially if you know there's a boss fight coming. You can eat them right before the boss fight, and even though the healing effect might not be tremendous, you'll get that HP AP regen effect for the first few rounds of combat while you're getting your defenses and stuff set up. Because some of the later boss fights, you do kind of have to, unless you're really over leveled, you do kind of have to worry about buffing and debuffing and that kind of thing, or you won't survive. Barrage. Bar Rage. There's a useless item up here that we can sell for money. The Peacock Fan. So the Peacock Fan would technically be an upgrade for Gregory. I will give it to him, but there's a trick with it where it actually causes you to be targeted more often because it's such a flashy item. They're worth it. They're worth a good amount of money. It's a royal family faction item. So the royal family items tend to have good stats, and they tend to be worth a decent amount of money because of their stats. It's just this one is not super fantastic, but we'll give it to him just for the slight magic attack boost. And when we get to the next town, there's a quest we can do very easily that we don't have to do it, but we have to do it because I want to get it leads to us getting another party member. So I'm going to do that quest, and then the first part of the quest will actually result in us getting a good weapon for Gregory that'll probably carry him through the rest of the first half of the game. Hey Dennis, what are you doing, buddy? Alright. So we've got this little weird thing here. There's a drop off, but it doesn't seem too far. Jump down? Sure. And there's a little skeleton. Oh shit. You got Malik. And then you just jump down again. Or you get attacked by bats, and then you jump down again. Whichever. Either way works. See, this is great for Calrea because I've been hounding her for like a year to play this damn game, and she kept saying, I will, and now she doesn't have to because she can just watch me play it and tune me out. So. Headache is a pain in the butt. It lowers your magic attack, magic defense, and agility by 20%, but it goes away pretty quickly. So it's best not to waste the money or the items healing it if you don't have to. So what, if I'd have taken the right path, as you'll see, I'd have found this and I'd have seen that. I'd been like, oh, okay, and then you go around to the left side again. Oh, that's just it doesn't do a lot of damage, but man, that's an intimidating attack. To just see all that. And believe it or not, it's only a 35% chance to cause headache. It's happening a lot. So. Let's use another homemade. Actually, I want to check the Malik. A rare, immaculate military industries revolver. Forever shall the wicked abide by its truth. So this is a rare IMI gun. And we are going to pop that bad boy right onto Nolan, and it will be a direct upgrade. It doesn't seem like a huge upgrade, but it's an upgrade. And it's a really good upgrade because this revolver naturally deals fire and pierce damage. And it also has the Consecrate ability, which is a boss killer extraordinaire. What it does is it causes a status effect called Consecrate, which deals holy damage over time to multiple targets. And what it does is it lasts for, I think, either 2 to 5 or 3 to 5 rounds, and the enemy loses 5% of their max HP every turn. So much later on in the game, you will encounter... Oh, I don't have a pickaxe. Damn, I meant to grab one. The wall here looks pretty weak. You know, I bet I could break this open with a pickaxe. If I come back here with a pickaxe, I can get a good treasure. The path to the right, it's another one like the Malik that loops. So I need to go in the right or the left side, and then it'll loop around, and I'll jump down and then come back up and out the right. But Consecrate later on. Starting in the second half of the game, we're going to start running into enemies that have health and AP regen that they will naturally get back 5, 10, 15% of their max HP every turn. And just in order to be able to keep up with them and be able to basically out DPS their healing, it's actually almost required to have some sort of status effect that you can put on them. And there's several you can do. There's Consecrate, Desecrate. I should know the other one. Oh, Lord. There's another one that's neutral that's actually... It's neutral damage, and it's actually more effective because it always lasts 5 rounds. And now I can't think of what it is, and I should because I made the game. And then you can actually poison and bleed enemies as well. Enemies can be inflicted with... poison and bleed and all that fun stuff, just like the player characters can. So that's actually a big part of the later battles, is not so much dealing out massive chunks of health damage. It's more just being able to like win a war of attrition against them and keep your characters alive long enough to whittle them down. And even then, the battles usually only last 4 or 5 rounds. They just seem really long because, you know, as I said last time, these battles are generally 1 to 2 round battles, and that's by design. I don't want them to be super long battles. I can't remember if I put treasure over here or not because I switched the locations of the treasures a couple of times in this cave, just moving stuff around. There's nothing over here. I thought not. So it's going to be up top. Oh, that hurts. So close. At least he didn't do something really nasty. He just did a regular hit. And of course, Stark gets a triple hit on that one. Damn you, Stark. Oh, that looks like a familiar kind of dirt pile. The destroyed remains of a stone soldier. You got a mossy core and 2 gravel dusts. Those are important. Those are both gonna... Actually, you need mossy cores for 2 quests. That's actually the only drop item in the entire game that you need for 2 separate quests. Just because. And the mossy cores are the rare drops from these guys, in case anyone was wondering what the hell is a mossy core. It's a rare drop for the Deisol enemies. Oh, he's got Erebos now. Aqua? No, I'll just do Barrage. Please, have mercy on me. Oh, so 3 of my party members miss a turn. Okay. Back at it, lads. Let's go. Get him. Fuck him up. Cheer. Give him a little agility boost. Yep. Put him ahead of the Deisol. Now don't reflect it. Okay. The engraved stone. That's another rare drop for the Deisols. Yeah, most enemies have at least 1 common drop, which is basically they'll have 1 or 2 common drops, and common drops mean that those are things that only that multiple types of enemy can drop. So like scrap metal. Pretty much any enemy made out of metal or that has metal as part of its body can drop scrap metal. That's a common drop. But then you also have some stuff that is unique to a specific enemy. So for instance, the sentry drone has 2 drops. They have scrap metal, and then they've got pre-war CPUs. The pre-war CPUs, other than finding them in a few old computers that you can find out in the eastern part of the continent, in ruins and things, pre-war CPUs are exclusively dropped by sentry drones, which means that they're worth a lot more money. And those things that are worth a lot more money tend to be the items that you're looking for with various bounty quests. As a rule, it's a good idea. Like, so for the bats are the only enemies that drop bat wings. Doy. But there are multiple enemies that drop thick fur, which is the other thing that you can get from them. Do I have any more bombs or anything? Of course not. I would love for him to get a crit right now. Crit. Oh, that's basically a crit. So as long as they don't knock down Gregory, we should kill at least one of them. Nice. Don't reflect it. Okay. The Deasols, there's only a handful of enemies that have it, and they're all thematically linked in a way that's not fully explained in the game, but for me, I know why they're linked. The Deasols and the Dwarians are 2 different enemies that both have the ability to reflect kinesis attacks back on the enemy. It's actually possible during the blood-fed Dwarian battle at the very beginning of the game. That one will occasionally reflect magic back onto Gregory and just kill him outright, which makes the fight a lot more difficult. But it's a 15% chance that it'll happen each time you use kinesis. There are some things that can't be reflected, but yeah. Get him! We're already almost, well, we're already over halfway through the mountain now. That little, the entrance to that cave, or you know, maybe like where you jump over the water in the cave, is probably pretty close to the midway point. So it's all downhill from here, guys. Oh, I see light. I see the light. What's the matter, baby? Hello. We get a free moment. Hello, Momo. Hello. Hi, honey. How are you? You want to hang out with me for a while? What if I scoot? Scoot. My wheels are stuck. Now she's going to be like, no, I don't want to sit with you. You're freaking me out. I need a bigger plastic mat is what I need. What if I just do this? Will this make you happy? She says, no. I deny you, father. You are not my daddy. It's true. You don't know who your father is. Your mama's a hoe. Well, there was your moment, guys. Hope you were watching, because you're not going to get another one. Oh, so she's begging. So there's the exit. But let's see what's over here. It's just me and Calrea in the chat. That's okay. I knew I'd make you watch this game sooner or later. Ooh. Something seems strange about this wall. That needs to be on the bottom. Hang on. Oh no, my pen. I need my pen. Anybody who's watching this in the future or that just jumped in, this game is not really a work in progress, but if I find a bunch of stuff during this playthrough that I need to tweak, I will do it and then put out a small patch for the game later. I had hoped at one point or another to put it out on Steam, but that's a big step, man. You're opening yourself up to a lot of negativity when you put a game on Steam. T Mountain Cave Nolan Dialogue Mid. Okay. So I'll know to fix that in the future. Something seems strange about this wall. No, unfortunately, Aotel, I feel like if I was famous that the world would end. So you just got banned. Just once I want to reply and be like, make me famous and then I'll pay you. I don't have the money to pay you until I'm famous, you idiot. Oh, I gotta fix that too. How's an unfamous person gonna pay you, dumb? Make sure I'm not about to run over my baby's feet. Yeah, I could sit a lot closer if, well, A, if my chair was good, and B, I could sit closer if I had a bigger plastic mat, but this one's kind of sad and small. So the exit is to the left, but we're going to head right first. I am a little tired of fighting these guys, so I'm going to use one of my good stealth gens. But we got some stuff to grab. So first we're going to head to the right and come down here. Uh-oh. He's dead. He's dressed like a Moraman soldier, but his armor doesn't fit very well. And why would he be out here all alone? Other than his clothes, it looks like he's carrying mostly GMI gear. And there's a piece of paper in his hand. You got annotated map. Well, he won't be needing that stuff now in any case. We should bury him and be on our way. You got stun gun, wall, lizard ring. Nice. And by the way, in case anybody was wondering, we went left back before we came into the cave. We could have gone up, and we would have seen the other side of this fortress, which doesn't have a door for whatever reason. I didn't put a door in there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, there is a door there. It's just not showing up in the game for some reason. It's some sort of a layering error. So now we go up here and over to the right. Ooh, look at the fancy background. Another pickaxe area that I can't take advantage of. Ooh. Be respectful to the master, or you'll answer to me. Hi, I'm Bartolomeo. I'm studying under the master so I can be a famous artist one day. When I grow up, the Argentino name will be known all over the world. So Bartolomeo Argentino is the name of the guy from Fiverr that I was saying last time did the art for my game. Healing pool, right? Gotta have a pool of healing water somewhere in the game. His Fiverr account name is Mudo Con Abe, all one word, Mudokonabe. I highly recommend his services if you need them. But that's his real name, so I put him in the game as a little minor character, just as a thank you to him for being so great. I was once the greatest painter in Kaluna. My works of art adorned the homes of the richest people in the world. But that's all behind me now. One day I lost my muse. I haven't made anything worthy of my name in many years. I retreated to this humble mountain sanctuary in search of inspiration. But the paint no longer speaks to me as it once did. When I was a young man, I studied under a master who swore that the secret to his success was due to the unique ingredients he used to mix his paints. Don't panic, y'all. This is not a Layers of Fear thing, I promise. Let me guess. You want us to go buy you some paint? Were you listening to what I said? The finest paints money can buy would not be enough. To make a masterwork worthy of my name, I require 7 bags of gravel dust from the walking stone guardians of the Elohim. Wait, excuse me? I have heard stories of stone men created to guard the ancient temples of the Elohim. Surely such magical stones would yield the finest gravel dust imaginable. Are you seriously asking us to go grind up magical stone men in a lost temple? If you feel you are not up to the task, then I must ask you to leave at once. I cannot waste my time with individuals who do not understand the demands of art. No, it's fine, but you better have the volts to make this worth our while. Were you able to find enough gravel dust for me? I'll need 7 portions. Yes, this is just what I asked for. With these, I will be able to make the finest paints imaginable. 10,133 XP, 1,316 volts. Yes, please, thank you, sir. Nolan is now level 20, slow learned. Bridget is now level 20, barricade learned. Gregory is now level 20, heal 2 learned. Stark is now level 21. So we did have enough gravel dust. Awesome. I was wondering, there should have been a comment there. Comment when give gravel. Talk when giving gravel dust. Boom. Yeah, there should always be a thing where the character says, all right, I got it. But this was one of the first quests that I programmed in, so I just probably forgot to do it and then never did it. It will be a while before my paints are ready. Soon, I will begin my next great masterpiece. All right, so we got to come back later and talk to him. But yeah, so this guy gives us quests for particularly rare monsters. But the amounts of XP that he gives us are like up there with what you get for fighting a lot of late bosses in the game. And that's based on the rarity of the monsters and how many of the thing he needs. So because he needs so many things of gravel dust, and because Deosols are actually fairly rare, we actually got a lot of them in this last encounter, way more than I would normally have expected to get. There's an expectation that you might end up farming for them a bit, and because he's kind of hidden and out of the way, you don't normally have to come up here right away. So, you know, basically you get a lot of XP for that quest because of reasons. Get him. Got a tapered wing from that one. That's good. We need at least 3 tapered wings for the next town. And how are we on lost fingers? We still don't have 25. Damn it. I need 5 more wasp stingers for the guy in FCP Bravo. We do have enough tapered wings, so that's good. We made it. Alright, so this is large. So this is actually 4 distinct areas right here. But first we're going to come over here. Check this side. Alright. Sounds exciting. Hello, suspicious-looking person. I was supposed to be meeting someone here. Was it you? I don't think so. What's taking him so long? How big can the Trebunko Mountains be? Bruh, look behind you. You know, we found a dead guy in one of the caves in the past. Could he have been the person you're waiting for? What? He didn't have any papers on him, did he? Maybe a map of the area? Yeah, he did actually. Looks like he went to a lot of trouble to keep notes on when there would be Moraman soldiers around. Pretty weird since he was dressed as one. Yes, that does seem a bit strange. Well, you see, he was a surveyor of sorts. I was planning to buy a bit of land in the mountains and possibly build a house there. Right. I don't know. It seems more like the sort of thing a Garanian spy would do. A spy? That's a good one. But I would like to get that map from you. It would be a shame to let his sacrifice go to waste, wouldn't it? The man snatched the annotated map away from you. But you know, I like a good spy story as much as the next person. Tell me, have you learned anything about spies or maybe the Imperial Senate in your travels? Not really. Okay, well, let me know if you change your mind. I'll be here, just taking in the air. Alright, Sketch Boy, we'll be back. Alrighty. So, this is one of Calrea's favorite NPCs right here. Hi, are you new to the city? If you want, I can show you around. It's a big place, but I've lived here my whole life, so I know where everything is. Okay, let's go. Okay, be sure to pay attention. Over there is the hotel. I hear it's really fancy, but they won't let me play in there, so I'm not sure. Further down is the church. Almost nobody goes there. But you're dressed sort of like the preacher. Do you go to church a lot, mister? Just in case we forgot why we were here. That way is Stonewall Goods. They have all sorts of shops in there. My mom goes there almost every week. That's the park. I play there a lot. Me and my friends even hit a treasure there. Oops. I wasn't supposed to talk about that. Anyway, that's the Hunters Guild. They're all super tough and cool looking, but Dad says they are just opportunists, and they should leave. At the end of the road is the Vital Records office. That's where my dad works. I don't know what he does there, but it sounds super important. Almost done. That way leads to the palace. Don't even think about trying to sneak in. The army guards it day and night. And over there, that's the Shield Blue building. My mom is a scientist there. She's super smart and gets to work on robots and stuff all day long. And that's it. It was fun showing you around, but I'm going to go play with my friends now. Bye! Nice. Uh-oh. Looks like someone forgot their lunch. It's my lunch now, motherfucker. Kahuna burger and an energy drink. Hell yeah. How do you just forget a Kahuna burger? And let's do a lap. See what the town has to offer. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Never fails. One day off and I spend it doing chores around the house. Oh, to be young again. You got casual hat. These are all going to be locked. These doors are all going to be locked. Oh, I guess I should check out Shield Blue, huh? Since the game literally told us specifically about it by name. Welcome to the Sbc Headquarters showroom. If you see anything you'd like to buy, I would be happy to assist you. So they've got a firearm. Shield Blue stuff always gives you a defense and M resist boost. So this is actually a gun that gives you the benefit of like a small shield effect. It defends you almost as much as the actual shields that they sell. A couple of energy shields, not much there. Welcome to Sbc Headquarters. If you'd like to purchase some of our fine merchandise, please head to the left. If you have an appointment, please sign in and wait in the lounge area. I'm here to make sure no unauthorized people try to get into the labs. If you need help, speak to the clerk. I work for a big-time business tycoon from Alton, the country to the west. I've gone more country as I was speaking. If he likes what's in my report, he's going to invest a load of money in SBC. Me? I'm just visiting family in the city and figured I'd check this place out. It sure is nice, but what I wouldn't give to check out the underground labs. I bet they're working on all sorts of stuff down there. Oh, what will I do? What will I do? If they find out that the prototypes were stolen... Excuse me, sir. Is everything all right? Oh, hello there. Welcome to Shield Blue Corporation. I'm terribly sorry, but if you need any assistance, I'll have to direct you to the service desk. I'm dealing with a bit of a crisis right now. Yes, we heard. Did you say something was stolen from you? Well, the prototypes, yes. I mean, technically they were stolen from SBC, but I was responsible for them at the time, so I suppose you could say they were stolen from me. Oh dear, I'm going to be fired. If you could slow down for a sec and give us something useful to go on, we might be able to help you find these prototypes. Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that. Well, it's not like we'd be doing it for free. Just how much are these prototypes worth, anyway? Oh, so you're mercenaries. That changes things. If you'd be willing to help me find these prototypes, I could pay you a small sum of volts for each one you bring back. Just how small a sum? We gotta eat, too. Alright, I can pull from my research budget for each prototype you bring to me, and I may be willing to part with a few designs that the executives weren't interested in as well. The prototypes in question were a series of weapons made using FG technology. Instead of creating a flat plane of energy to deflect attacks, they could be used to simulate bladed weapons, like a sword or a spear. You mean laser weapons? Oh, no. Lasers are a totally different technology. I used the shield generating technology and modified it to make a focus projected energy weapon that could... Sounds like a laser weapon to me. That's pretty awesome. I told you, it's a focused projection. So, who exactly stole these laser weapons from you, sir? It all started when that pink-haired kid ran by and knocked me down in the park. I dropped the prototypes all over the ground, and when I gathered them back up, I realized one of them was gone. The only place in town that might buy it from him is Stonewall Goods, but I can't very well walk into a competitor's shop and ask, "Hello, I work for SBC. Have you bought any stolen weapon designs lately?" Don't worry, sir. We'll go see if we can find anything out. Nolan, did you notice what he said? About the thief being a pink-haired kid? Yeah, it's gotta be Neela's brother. What was his name again? It's Nathan. Come on, Nolan. You guys have practically the same name. Right. Let's hope we can catch up to him. Alright, Nathan. You thieving fuck. Where are you hiding? So we gotta go to Stonewall Goods and see if they can give us some info. But we're gonna... I wish I could play in the park with my friends. I came home covered in mud the other day, and now I have to stay in the yard. Why'd we have to pretend the Sword of Destiny was so close to the water? There are ripe apples hanging from the branches. Got it. Oh. Hello, and welcome to the Old City. Were you looking for the Vital Records office, or just exploring our beautiful city? Boy, you're cheerful. Having a good day? Every day's a good day here in the Old City. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and everywhere you look, Moraymans are prospering under their beloved queen's watchful eye. Right. Well, we'll just be on our way. It's so warm here, I could just fall asleep. I wish they'd hurry up and call me already. I'm sorry, my kids can be a bit of a handful. Look, Mommy, I'm a bird! Every child in an office ever. Ha 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 ha. Alright, anyway. Here's another guy with a sad bowl haircut. This must be the little kid's dad. Hello, how can I assist you today? Yeah, hi. I lost my passport, so... Not a problem, sir. Just fill out these forms and I can issue you a new one right away. Nolan filled out the stack of forms in triplicate. Wow, Nolan, what took so long? Sorry. Questions were really hard. How could they be hard? It's just basic information. A kid could fill these out. It It was just hard to remember some of the stuff they needed. I hadn't thought about it in a while is all. Okay, sir. Everything seems to be in order. Here's your new passport. Fuck yeah. We have nothing else to say to you. So we got our 2 haunted teddy bears that Zyfel made us take and then promptly abandoned us. Passport. Legal paperwork verifying Nolan's citizenship status. With this, the party can use the Trebunko Road. Nice. Oh, hang on. Come around here. You got burnt meat ×2. Now, not all of you are as eagle-eyed as me, but here's a bush we can cut. Yes. With our hooked axe that we bought back in Petrogal Springs. You got box of snacks, water, 2 weak batteries. Looks like someone stashed some supplies here and never came back. Nice. This is Stonewall Goods, an outlet mall owned by Alton Defense Solutions. They have a wide selection, but to be honest, you can buy food cheaper in Brodospa, if you're willing to go there, that is. This is actually a real thing. Like, certain stores will sell certain goods at different prices. Like, everything has a base price, but you're not always going to get charged the base price everywhere you go. I live in East Side, but I do all my shopping here. Their selection can't be beat. I do have a good selection of stuff. We've got the tier 1 through 4 food and drink items. Nice. Thanks, come again. Hello, citizen. Tell me, are you enjoying the great prices and high quality goods found here? Yeah, sure. Glad to hear it. Just remember, all of this is thanks to the wonderful new trade agreement reached by the royal family and the Parliament of Alton. Oh, right. I remember hearing about that. But why are you guys only selling your stuff here? I would think people out in the Deadlands would need it more. Ah, yes. Well, negotiations are ongoing. Hello. I can buy back any old gear or other items you may have for a portion of their assessed value. Or maybe you'd like to buy a keepsake charm. Excuse me. I was wondering if you could help us. Certainly. Did you have something you would like for us to buy back? Not exactly. We were actually looking for something that was stolen from a friend. Has anybody come in recently trying to sell a unique weapon? A friend, huh? Might this friend of yours work for Shield Blue Corporation? So you've got it? Nope. But when that kid came in, I knew right away that he had swiped that design. I'd have bought it to send back to our main office in Alton, but I'm not approved to spend what he was asking on a single buy. I told him that the main office in Woodgate could buy it from him if he wanted to take a Zeppelin there. Woodgate? Isn't that in Alton? If he's on his way to Alton, there's no way we're going to be able to get that prototype. Let's not give up yet. Maybe we can get to Aklapata Fortress before he leaves. Yeah, we'll get to there. We sell good, solid weapons here. None of that flashy SBC stuff, and certainly not any GMI gear. GMI? The so-called Garen Military Institute. They supply all the weapons and armor for Garen's forces. I won't lie, it's quality stuff, but after Garen betrayed us in '79, I swore off their merchandise. Sorry, I tend to get a little worked up. Anyway, if you see something you want, let me know. Got a good mix of reinforced stuff. This is all ADS, Alton Defense Solutions stuff. Alton Defense Solutions generally has the highest attack power in their tier. As you can see, it's not a whole lot else going on with it, but even the reinforced focus, which is supposed to be a magic item, gives a plus 50 to physical attack. So, yeah. These are just plain old solid damage items. We have some of the finest military grade gear money can buy. Let me know if you see anything you want. Military issue clothing, reinforced armor, military hat, reinforced helm, reinforced shield. Nobody can use any of this heavy shit. And we don't really have enough money to buy sets of this. So, stay safe out there. Oh, there's a note posted on the board. Hello, I'm hoping someone can get... Oh, it's 6! For some reason I thought it was 3. Damn me. can gather 6 tapered wings from those horrible bristle bees. I spend most of my days relaxing in the park near here. If you find them, please bring them to me there. I love coming here to shop, but I think it's strange that I have to pass the armory to get from the grocery to the pharmacy. What sort of customer base are they aiming for, anyway? Hey, buddy. Welcome. In addition to our housewares, we have a fine stock of medical supplies available for purchase. Bandages, portable AED. Buy a couple of those. These are actually, this is the knockout heal item. And you can't get these many places, so it's good to have them, to know that they're there. Aspirin, that, focus booster, throat spray, eye drops. Nice. So this is all a whole bunch of stuff that we just don't have access to yet. Be sure to come back again. Oh, we are poor. Let's sell some stuff to this lady. I already told you all I know. Would you like to buy a keepsake charm? Or maybe you have something you'd like to sell. So she's got the heaven charm, which is the holy charm. Honestly, snack food is not really worth the time it takes to eat it. Weak battery. We can sell the insect wings. We could sell the cytoplasm, sell the burnt meat. We could sell the insect eyes, keep the tapered wings. We could sell the bat wings. We'll need some later, but it'll be a while. Raw meat, we can sell that. Scrap metal, sell that shit. Gravel dust, sell that. Poison fangs, sell that. We need those. Ruined wires. I don't think we need these. And engraved stones we're gonna need. Yeah. Weapon. Oh, we gotta, hang on. Give him the paper fan and we can sell that peacock fan. I smell peanut butter. I think somebody's eating peanut butter toast. Or I'm about to have a stroke and die on stream, which would probably do a lot for my viewership, but... Oh, I shouldn't have sold that scabbard clothing. I'm going to need that later. Damn it. It's okay. I'll get another one later on. Oh, and I should have equipped this. Put this on Nolan. Give him a little speed bump. There we go. We got a little more money. Okay. Oh, hey, buddy. I can't talk now. I'm watching the hunters do their drills. Unless, of course, you want to talk about the Hunters Guild. Yeah, sure. We don't know enough yet. Damn. Okay, let me know if you change your mind. Well, let's try to catch Nathan before he gets away. We're going to go up here. Excuse me, but did a pink-haired kid try to buy a ticket to Alton recently? Oh, him. Yeah, he did, but when he found out all of our flights had been canceled, he went ballistic. He threw a huge tantrum in the office. What a punk. Keep walking, shrimp. Can't believe this. We should have been back in Tecumlo a week ago. When are the flights going to start back up? I'm sorry, but we don't have any scheduled flights in the near future. I'm sorry, please remain in the ticket area. Is everything alright? Yes, it's nothing to worry about. A pink-haired kid came in trying to buy a ticket to Alton, and when the clerk told him all the, "Hey, Voltaire, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you, good to see you." When the clerk told him all the flights had been canceled, he kind of lost it. He said he was going to get rich and shut us all down, the usual. On his way out, he dropped a bag and some weird gizmo fell out. We thought it looked like a bomb, so the VP is speaking to a guard from the checkpoint. Real smooth, Nathan. Would you happen to know where he went? Nope, sorry. Did you hear that? Maybe Nathan is still hiding out somewhere in town. So how was your weekend, Voltaire? It's been a couple days. You doing all right, I hope? Enjoying your time back with your family? I don't have any more free samples right now. The Breeze Inn. Nah, we don't really need to rest. Been a fine weekend. Good, I'm glad to hear it. It's empty. Anything here? You got a homemade tapper. Well, that's a thief item. A tapper cobbled together from salvaged parts. Busy with assignments. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. You look unique. I'm just taking it easy today. I sell most of my papers when we get tourists coming from Alton. I'm taking it easy and reading up on current events. Did you want me to tell you what's been happening in Alton? Yeah, sure. I don't know enough about anything. I'm stupid. Damn it. Hey, buddy. Hey there. See anything you want? Or if you have something to sell, I could take a look. Oh, he's got some fancy stuff. Modified Dastana. That is a straight upgrade for our boy Stark. Armor which protects the whole arm, modified for more dexterity at the fingertips. Useful for wary thieves. This would give him another little slight upgrade to his thievery. Cattle prod. That's a one-handed spear. Study aid makes you immune to sleep. Shock absorber. Cloud charm. We'll buy a few more of these. I'd like to buy a Dastana, but I don't know if I need it. You can actually make it pretty far into this game without buying a whole lot of gear. Like, you'll find stuff along the way. The bought stuff is more for just people who don't want to look for treasures, basically. Take this, and that, and this. Well said, sir. Can't talk now. I'm taking an inventory of our supplies before we head out on our next mission. So, as you have probably gathered by now, Voltaire, I'm doing more VoltAge because I had a poll and I got 3 votes and 2 people said VoltAge. So, I got twice as many votes for VoltAge as I did for Last Remnant. I don't think I'm going to do more VoltAge after this for a little bit. What I might do is set another follower goal and then say, like, when I hit 300 followers, I'll play another episode or something. I don't know. I don't want this to turn into the channel where I just, toot my own horn constantly. The captain? Sorry, he's away right now. Because we're so close to Kaluna, he was put in charge of both locations. Try the old city if you need to talk to him. Ooh, another book. Read the marked page. While the newly formed guild quickly grew in fame following their formation, it was not until the year 8923 PF that they came to be known as the disciplined dragon-slaying force they are today. Following the... Aw, locked. Oh, wait. Oh, I see pink hair. Crap. So now what am I going to do? Oh, it's you guys. Sorry, I don't have any gear to sell right now. Hey, Nathan. Did you recently find any interesting weapons in Kaluna? Let's say I did. Nathan, the guy works for SBC. He told us a pink-haired kid stole his prototype and ran off. How hard do you think it'll be for the police to find you? Okay. I thought I could sell this piece of junk real quick and make a fortune, but I don't want to end up in Eastside Prison. Here you go. You got FPEW Fist. The Few Fist. Few. I just say the F Pew. I'll see you guys later. And away he goes. Alright, so we can return this back to Dude Man. An experimental weapon which was stolen from SBC. Uses a proprietary power source, which is missing. So we can go back to Sbc Headquarters and give this to the guy. Do we have enough Hunter's Guild gear, or Hunter's Guild lore now? Damn it. Oh wait, actually, maybe if I read the book in here, that'll be enough. I'm in charge of coordinating supply shipments from Jaeger to our offices here in Marema. It's no small task, I can tell you. While this facility is primarily for use by the Guild, we do allow mercenaries to train with us for a fee. In fact, you lot look as though you've been in a few tough battles yourself. Did you want to train here? Sure, you bet. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Excellent. We offer 3 training programs. Here, please read this pamphlet and let me know when you're ready to sign up. You got pamphlet. So this was something that I actually added to the later, like in one of the later updates of the game, and it's essentially you buy XP because there are quests that will take you all the way up to like level 80 before you can comfortably beat them. And I don't want people to have to spend a lot of time grinding. And when you get to about level 55, 60, it gets grindy. So this is a way to address that. And bonuses. You know, if you spend enough money here, you get a bonus thing. Pamphlet. Bronze package, cost 1,000 volts. Trainees will spar with trained members of the guild for 2 hours. Light refreshments provided. Silver package, cost 5,000 volts. Trainees will spar with trained members of the guild for 4 hours. Guild members will work with the trainees to identify potential areas of improvement. Lunch and showering facilities provided. Gold package, cost 10,000 volts. Trainees will spar with a certified trainer for 8 hours. The trainer will work to identify potential areas of improvement. Basic guild battle tactics will be used to inform all training recommendations. Trainees will receive a complimentary meal specially formulated to encourage muscle recovery and growth after training, as well as a day pass to the wellness spa at the Old City Hotel. Good for day of training only. That's a pretty good package. Hey, there's a bounty posted here. I need something to help me sleep. Come to my house in Bristle, near the park. Not much here to go on. Maybe we should pass on this one. Come on, Nolan. It's not that long of a walk to Bristle. Let's just go ask this person how we can help them. Look, there's a bounty posted here. I work at Shield Blue Corporation, just south of here. I'd rather not post the details here, so please come speak to me. I work at the receptionist desk. Well, we're going that way anyway, so... yee. This book is about the history of the Hunters Guild. Imperial Senate of Garen continues to maintain to this day that the dragon's release was unintentional and that the guild's practice of leaving dragon heads on Garen's borders was a needless provocation. Yet, ... the plot thickens. Someone left this tablet on. There's a story about the insurgency pulled up on the screen. It has been 2 weeks now since the Imperial Senate of Garrett unanimously passed a resolution to officially label the activist group known as the Insurgency as a terrorist organization and ... Getting a whole lot of lore in a short period of time. Hope y'all like lore, because I do. Alright, so now we got 2 people to talk to in here. Let's talk to her first. What's that? The bounty? Oh, it's pretty simple, I think. Recently, I bought some really advanced tech from a scaver who claimed he'd pulled it off some sort of robotic animal. I thought he was a little, well, crazy, but I still bought the tech from him. It was badly damaged, but I could tell it was far more advanced than anything Sbc is working on. If I could reverse engineer it, I'm sure to get a big promotion. No more answering phones or taking notes. This is my big chance. Okay. I'm not seeing a point here. As I said, the tech was badly damaged. I need someone to bring me 3 more pieces of salvaged sci-tech. That should be more than enough to reverse engineer the technology and make a working prototype. Did this scaver happen to tell you where the tech came from? Hey, Divide by Zero, how's it going, buddy? Just playing a little bit of VoltAge. Hope you're having a good week. How was your first and second days at work? I saw you tried to call me yesterday, but I was actually training at the time. I was, like, teaching a class at the time. Did this scaver happen to tell you where the tech came from? Well, no, but there's certainly nothing like that in the western part of Marima. And from what I could tell, the tech wasn't sealed against the dust and grit from the Deadlands. Hopefully that helps. So it's not from the western part of the continent, and it's not meant to be used in the Deadlands. So we're basically looking for non-Deadlands area in the eastern half of the country. Hey man, sounds like easy money. Have you found the first prototype yet? Yep, here you go. Handed over the FPU Fist prototype. Oh, thank you. Did you manage to catch the thief? No, he got away. Ah, no matter. I alerted the police as well as the guards manning the Trebunko Road checkpoints. He won't evade capture for long. In any case, I owe you a reward. You got 1,000 volts and a frozen tracer. Lots of new terms to learn. Yeah, man. You gotta figure out whether to call them patients, trustees, or stakeholders. There you go. Now for the next one. After I gathered up the other prototypes, I tried to run after the pink-haired kid, but I ran into a man wearing a suit of armor near the Hunters Guild. I think I may have dropped one of the prototypes when I ran into that man. It was shortly after that when I realized I only had 2 left. Do you think you could try to track him down? Remember, you're looking for a man in armor who was hanging around the Hunters Guild. We saw him. He was up in the top left corner of the guild building. So the frozen tracer is it's like a rapier, yeah. An experimental rapier forged using folded quad steel mixed with kinetically charged amethyst dust. So this is an Sbc sword, and it's not extraordinary, but it gives like a 15 to 20 point boost in 4 of Gregory's 6 stats. Definitely an upgrade from what he had. We're going to give him this scaver mask as well. And it also comes with the cryo blade ability, so that'll give him a an ice option. I was telling Calrea earlier, Divide, that I have an idea for my character for D&D that I think you'd appreciate. I'm gonna roll him up as either a half-elf or a human paragon. I think I'm going to go half-elf, because when you get to level 3 as a half-elf paragon, you can qualify for another racial paragon, and then I'll go human. But I'm going to give him a name that starts with J, and he's literally just going to be like a commoner, just like a really high-stat commoner, that whenever anybody asks him why he's adventuring, he's going to say he's preparing for the battle. And when people say, you know, what battle are you talking about? He'll just say, oh, what's your name? Then you could never understand unless they have the same name as him. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm getting at there. Hello, sir. I was wondering, did a man with glasses bump into you outside a while ago? Oh, yeah, that guy. I was outside watching the hunter's train, and he ran right into me. Good thing I had my armor on. I barely felt it. Yes, that is lucky. I was just wondering, did you find any unusual weapons lying on the ground after he ran into you? Oh yeah, I did find something on the ground. I thought it was a toy. It looked like one of those laser swords from the old sci-fi movies I watched as a kid. I gave it to my daughter to play with. Crap. Is there a problem? That was a prototype weapon designed by Sbc. It could be very dangerous. I gotta get to the park right now. Let's go to the park. Such a big crowd again today. Ever since that woman shared her recipes with me, I've had more customers than I can handle. I wish I could thank her. Hey, back of the line. I can't get enough of the dumplings from this cart. They're the best I've ever had. Shoot, I need to get back to work, but I just have to have some of those dumplings. It's a good thing I'm retired, otherwise I could never spend all day waiting in line for these dumplings. Although the standing is rather hard on my legs. When I made this, I had the red text. I had an idea that there might be a quest that occurred here, and then it just never turned into anything. So now it's just a lady that sells really good fucking dumplings hanging out in the park. That's pretty much all it is. Super secret. Nope, don't tell anybody. There's something in the grass under the bench. You got Emerald Bracelet. Nice. Emerald Bracelet is an accessory that prevents poison. Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble. I don't care what sort of game you're playing. You need to give it back right now. It's dangerous and you might get hurt. But you said I could play with it. I want to be a magic space knight and fight the Astro Dragon. Sweetie, Daddy didn't realize that your laser sword belonged to someone else. Aren't magic space knights supposed to be good and honorable? I can't fight the Astro Dragon if I don't have a sword. It's okay, Sir Anna. When we get the Sword of Destiny, you can use it to fight the Demon King. Well, okay, Daddy, here's the laser sword. Thank you, sweetie. Go ahead and keep playing now, but stay out of the water. Sorry about that. She wants to be a fighter when she grows up, like her old man. Anyway, here you go. You got FPU Saber. Nice. See what these kids are up to. Okay, everyone. We need to make it around Meteor Lake. The Astro Dragon is guarding the Sword of Destiny, so we need to be ready for a fight. Whee! I'm a space warrior. Check out my cool laser sword. So she's just pretending to have one now, I guess, right? Captain Barry, we should just hit the Astro Dragon with a nuclear missile from our space satellite. I can dial in the codes from Romeral Station. I know the Sword of Destiny is close, but if we head south to the town of Goldspire, I can learn the Astro Dragon's secret name. With it, I can make him help us fight the Demon King. So these kids are having fun with a capital F. Hey, what's this? There's a broken sword hidden in the reeds. What should I do? Should I take the broken sword or should I leave it, guys? I need an opinion. Take it or leave it. All right. Well, before you ask me that question, I need you to choose if I should take the sword or leave it. Because somebody has to answer me, and I think Calray is ignoring me. We'll just sit right here and run out the clock on this stream, so help me God. Tail it! Take! Okay. You got broken sword. A broken relic of unknown origin. It doesn't seem very good. Divide by Zero said leave it. Oh no. Ah, shit. Okay, Divide by Zero, what is your question about video games? Divide says leave it. Voltaire, if you're still in the chat, you got to be the tiebreaker, man. Do we take it or do we leave it? I'm just clearing out my backup. I don't think Voltaire's here anymore. I think he left us. Let's see. He says take it. Oh, well, sorry, Divide, but the other two have doomed us all. So it increases or affects all of our stats to some degree. Let's see. There. Huh. So that's what it does. Surely this couldn't possibly turn out to be something much better later on, right? That's not how it works. My first experience into console or computer gaming? Well, which one is it? That's technically two questions, but I'll let it slide. Well, did you talk to the man in armor yet? When I last saw him, he was outside the Hunters Guild. Yep, here you go. So, Did the man in armor steal the prototype? No, not exactly. He gave it to his daughter to play with. I think he thought it was a kid's toy. A toy? In any case, I thank you for your continued assistance. Here, take this. You got 2,000 volts and a bodyguard FG. So this increases our defense and our M defense by 20 each. Pretty nice. Or M resist, I'm sorry. So my first experience into console gaming was going to be the classic Nintendo. I had a classic Nintendo Entertainment Center or entertainment system pretty much since I could remember. When I was a kid, I used to go to actually not too far from here, over on the near I-95 going into Richmond. They have the Bellwood Flea Market, which is still there, not as bumping as it used to be, but the Bellwood Flea Market was it at one point it had been a drive-in theater with a bunch of different screens, and they had turned the area into an open air flea market where people would come and set up their stuff. And I'd go there almost every week with my dad, every weekend with my dad, and he'd be looking for like antiques and stuff. And there would be people set up that were just selling tons of Nintendo games that they were probably stolen or whatever. It was never a good part of town. But they were selling NES cartridges for like $2 each, so you know that they were probably not on the up and up. But because of that, I had something like 50 Nintendo games. Obviously, I played Mario. I wasn't a big Mario person. I played Mario 1, 2, and 3. I was never, phenomenal at them, even though I am a phenomenal sir. I was not a kid that crushed on Mario. I played a lot of Mega Man 2. And the other game that specifically jumps out at me, I mean, I can remember all of my games, or almost all of my games. I had Tetris, and I had Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, and I had Air Fortress, and I had all these Nintendo games. And I would just pop them in, and I'd play one for 10 minutes, and then I'd get bored, and I'd play another one for 10 minutes, and I was living the dream, man. I remember playing Legendary Wings a lot, and Crystalis, which, looking back on it, that was actually the first RPG I ever played. So, a lot of platformers, couple of shooters, that kind of thing. Of those early games, I'd say RPGs, obviously, are the ones that I ended up sticking with the most. Crystalis wasn't an RPG in the strictest sense of the word. It was more like an action RPG. For the computer, other than Minesweeper and Solitaire, the first legit computer game that I can really remember playing a lot of was they had the Star Wars, the LucasArts had the Star Wars games on the computer, and I have an uncle who's only a few years older than me, and he was always really big into the games as well. And I did have a Genesis as well, Voltaire, but that was not my first one. In terms of computer, my early experiences with computer games were basically I would go to my grandmother's house, and my uncle was only 8 years older than me, so he lived with my grandmother when I was a kid, and he had a computer. So when he was out with his friends and stuff, I could play on the computer, and I would play the Shadow, the Dark Empire and the Star Wars TIE Fighter game where you could play with the little flight stick, and the other one I played a lot of was Wolfenstein 3D. All wholesome games for a young child to play. I didn't actually live in a house that owned a computer until the year 2000. My grandma Turner, my mother's mother, bought us a computer, and it came with a handful of games, and I fought really hard. There were 2 or 3 different packaged Dells you could get that came with Microsoft 2000. And I pushed really hard. They had the one that came with the standard games, but I pushed really hard for the one that had Baldur's Gate, and there was a pinball game that I thought, the pinball game looked cool, but this Baldur's Gate game looked fucking sweet. And that was actually my first experience with Baldur's Gate, was way back in 2000, playing it on the old Microsoft 2000 or Microsoft Windows 99 computer that we had. And that was also where I got into Free Space, which I loved. Free Space. It wasn't Jedi Outcast. I never played any of the Jedi games, unfortunately. But Descent, Free Space, I played a lot of. I didn't think I'd like it, but it was like a space flight simulator. I actually bought it on Steam, and I had really hoped to be able to play it, not even on stream, just because I love the game. But it's like, you can buy the game on Steam, but you have to do all sorts of crazy shit just to get it to actually work, and even then it's not guaranteed on a newer system. So I guess in terms of, like, you know, stuff that stuck with me, even though I almost never do like flight simulator games now, you know, I played space flight stuff a lot. I played RPGs a lot, and shooters, which I don't do a lot of shooters anymore. I still do RPGs. If a good space flight game comes along, I'll try it. I've tried a lot of space flight games and just been disappointed by them. So yeah. Hopefully that answered your question. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to what Dude Man was saying. What did he say about the third? The third. I got so distracted. The third. 2 more missing prototypes. As I was running after the thief, my asthma started to act up. I set the prototypes on the back of a truck to reach for my inhaler and... let me guess. The truck's license plate said it was for farm use, and there was some sort of logo on the side. I wasn't able to make out the name, but it looked like an apple. Do you know of a town that grows lots of apples? In any case, I can only hope the prototypes stayed on the truck until it reached its destination. Otherwise, we may never recover them. So I know where to go for that, but we're not going to go there just yet because we haven't discovered it organically, but we will in a minute. We could have already been to the town he's talking about, but let's go talk to Dude Man about... Oh, actually, let's go in here first. So this is the fancy hotel. Can I help you? I'd like to stay here. While we welcome all guests, please note that this is easily the most luxurious hotel in the old city. As such, you understand that we charge accordingly. For a party of your size, to rent a single room, however, I believe we can offer you a discounted rate of 5,000 volts. Are you kidding me? No way! I see. Then if you could, please step aside. We are expecting a large group from Garen to be checking in soon. I gotta see this room. Watch it. Following the bombing of Marema by Garanian forces in the year 9153, refugees poured into Kelowna. Hard to believe it's been almost 50 years. Anything here? Nope. There's a lot of inconsistency. There's all these little comments and things that I'm realizing as I'm playing through this after looking away from it for so long. There are various points in the game that make passing mentions of Garen bombing Marema, and it seems to vary wildly how long ago it was that the place was actually bombed. They talk about 50 years ago. They talk about a couple of 100 years ago. So I need to tighten down on that. You look like an adventurous sort. Here, take these. You got Midas knuckles. What's that? You think it's odd to give these to a perfect stranger? Well, I found them many years ago. With them, I was able to become a very rich man, but now I no longer have need of them. It seems only right to pass them on to another like-minded individual. May they bring you fortune as they did me. This is just a straight-up, like, old man in shop gives you item, just clean out of, Pokemon or something. Unfortunately, nobody can equip them. These pitifully weak knuckles are prized by the greedy for their unique properties. None of us can equip them yet. Alrighty. Oh, I wish I could get closer, but the guards keep chasing me off. I just wanted to watch those Fide Defensor soldiers. I heard the Fide Defensor sent some people here to guard the ambassador from Alton, and I thought if I watched for long enough, I might see them doing their combat drills. I'd love to learn some of their moves. It's hard being without my husband, but the Watcher has his reasons for keeping everyone. It doesn't mean he was a bad man. He gave me my daughter, after all. Hey, buddy. I know it's out of style to go to church these days, but something about this place makes me feel strong. When I sit and breathe in the air here, it makes me think I could do almost anything. Hello and welcome. I assume you're here to take a picture of the statuary or the stained glass windows. They are quite beautiful, even to a non-believer. Should we ask about Gregory or ask about the church first? I'm going to send a text while y'all think about it. I got about a 10-second delay. Church. This church was built several thousand years ago, just after the period of time known as the Fall. During that period, worship of the primordial gods known as Elohim fell out of mainstream practice. Really? I never realized it was that old. If the Elohim weren't being worshipped anymore, why did people build this church? This church was originally dedicated to another god, one which was not referred to as an Elohim in the old stories. Accounts vary, but most experts agree that this god was simply a man who led a large cult. Oh, like Jesus. I didn't say that. Don't ban me, Twitch. There are other stories, but... What kinds of stories? Some of the legends claim that this god actually gained his power by killing Elohim. This is, of course, all myth. I may be a man of religion, but I don't believe every single story from the dark times. Well, what do you believe? If you don't believe those stories, then why are you here? Well, worship of that god soon fell out of favor as well. According to the scholars, his religion largely died out less than a century after it appeared. For the last several hundred years, this church has been used to hold services to the Watcher, patron deity of Marema, although as you can see, few people find themselves able to believe these days. Well, why do you think that is? Aren't you a member of his faith? You dress like one. The Watcher is a death god. When we die, he leads us to our final reward, whatever that may be. However, he also judges, and we are taught that if a good person, a truly good person, dies before their time, the Watcher will bring them back so they can have a second chance to finish what was left undone. In the months and years after the bombs fell, many of the faithful believed that Marema was dead. I think they believed that the Watcher would come to give us a second chance, and when he didn't, they stopped believing. In any case, all that is in the distant past now. My role is to offer guidance to those who require it, in both this world and the next. Even the non-believers still need funeral rites and burials, right? Thank you for listening to an old man talk about things long past. You may not be a believer, but if you take this, it would set my mind at ease. Good choice, Divide. We got a soothing talisman. So I don't want to belabor the point, but so the Watcher is the god that brings people back from the dead and gives them second chances? Ask about Gregory. Destroy the talisman. Break it! The ground starts to shake. Pardon me, sir, but have we met before? Show and tell. What am I showing and telling today? Let's see. Alrighty. Hang on a second. Happy people. Oh no, my books. The boxes are too heavy. The handles are breaking. Well, here's a good one. Boom. Actually, I can't see if you can see it. So this is Pokemon Blue. This is a nice handbill for Pokemon Blue. You go to hell. This one was actually kind of a freak thing that I got it. I had kind of given up hope. It's not really straight in the glass. There we go. The glass doesn't sit super stiff against it, so it's kind of sliding inside the frame a bit. I need to fix it. But I actually got this from a guy in Australia that had like a dozen different like vintage game posters, and I had been looking for it because Pokemon Blue was actually the first Pokemon game that I played. Hello, Link. We don't need you right now, buddy. This is Link. He's bad. He's a bad cat. Double show and tell. But I grabbed it, and what I did not know is that the in Japan, I know that they had the Pokemon Red and Green were the original releases, and I had always thought that Blue just didn't come out in Japan because I was stupid. But apparently they have been doing the Pokemon, Game Freak has been doing the like release a pair and then an upgrade thing since Generation 1, because in Japan they had Pokemon Red and Green, and then they came back later and released Pokemon Blue. But then for whatever reason, they didn't do that in America. I guess they thought people wouldn't be that hype about it. So they just basically took all of the little updates that they had put into Pokemon Blue, and then they copied them over to Pokemon Red, and that's why we have Red and Blue, and they got Red and Green. So like Red and Green were kind of like the original Pokemon, and then Pokemon Blue was like, in later generations they had Pokemon Gold, Silver, and then Crystal, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and then Platinum. This was like the Pokemon Platinum of the first generation. I don't have a scan of this one, unfortunately, to show you. It's not one that's very common, but I like it a lot. I was extremely excited to get it. I had been looking for an early Pokemon handbill for a long time. I have another one as well that I'll probably show in a future show and tell, just so y'all know. I do also have a Pokemon Yellow handbill, and that's probably one of the best deals that I've ever gotten on one. The Pokemon Yellow one is probably one of the best deals I've ever gotten on one of these. I got it for $18 plus shipping and handling. I don't think the guy knew what he had. Is the only thing I can give you, because I am 99% certain that it is not a recreation, that it is an original. And the only other ones I've ever seen are like $50, $60, $70, and it's really rare. So I think that I literally bought it like 3 minutes after it got put on his shop. He may not have even realized that he had put it up for so cheap until after I'd bought it. So anyway, one more look. Pocket Monster Blue. And what's really cool about this one, which actually helps to date it, is if you look on the back, there's actually, along the bottom, there's an early advertisement for the first Pokemon Stadium game as well, where they're showing a screenshot of a Gyarados from Pokemon Stadium, and then the little transfer pack. And they're talking about how you can transfer Pokemon into Pokemon Stadium from Pokemon Blue. I don't know if you guys can see him, but there's also a Hobbs sleeping on the couch behind me. So you actually get a multi-cat moment tonight. No, you wanted to be famous. Here you go, buddy. There he is, the worst behaved cat in our family. Yeah. I'm not going to let you jump. You're going to have to let me put you down like a civilized human being. I don't want you playing in the closet either. Denied. All right, buddy. Well, you've got Hobbs right there, just chilling. I was fighting with him all day to get him to lay on the couch because he was laying in the doorway, scaring the other cats. Link just doesn't listen. That's his problem. He doesn't, he's not a destructive cat. He doesn't scratch or bite or anything like that. But he'll look at you, and then he'll look at the table, and you'll say, "Don't do it." And then he'll look at you, and he'll go, "Meow." And you say, "Link, do not jump on that table." And then he goes, "Meow." And you say, "I swear to God, cat, if you jump on that table." And then he jumps on the table and then lays down and looks at you. And then when you get up to come over and move him, he jumps down and runs away. So, anyway. Hobbs does kind of look like he's out of it. Calrea, have they eaten yet? I was just thinking that he was kind of like staring off into space in a weird way. I see, and you were hoping that I might be able to tell you more about your past. I'm sorry, young man, but I'm afraid I have never met you before. It appears your journey was in vain. Although, when I was an acolyte, the head priest who served before me once told me that the people on the island of Mateo, southwest of Marema, still worshipped the Watcher. Did you hear that, Gregory? Maybe you came here from the tropical island of Mateo. Do you really think so? That could very well be the case. Although, if so, that may pose an even larger problem for you. Well, why do you say that? Because Mateo is far across the ocean to the southeast, Marema. Exactly. There was a time when Zephyr Airways flew a Zeppelin from Aclapata Fortress, but I've heard that all their flights have been canceled. I'm sorry, all I can offer is bad news, it seems. Calrea, are you there? Are you listening? Are you watching funny videos again? Are you ignoring me? Nonsense. You've been far more helpful than I could have hoped. I'm extremely grateful to you, sir. Yes and no. Have the cats eaten yet? Because both I and Divide by Zero think that Hobbs looks a little out of it. They did eat? Okay, so maybe he's just food drunk. Thank you. That's right, we'll just have to head to Aclapata Fortress, north of Kaluna. And if they can't help us, we'll find some other way to reach Mateo. He's sleepy. I hope so. Yeah, sorry about that, Voltaire. You and anybody else who's watching, you got a little side view of the domestic between me and Calrea. Yeah, right. He doesn't have the upper body strength to kill me. Bridget is right. This is the first solid lead we've had so far. We won't give up now, Gregory. Bridget, Nolan, thank you both. Aw. Hobbs is the only one I'm not scared would sharpen a knife behind me. Hobbs is a good boy. He my buddy. Alright, so before we head to Aclapata, so I was kind of all over the place there, and I apologize, but basically, we need to... well, I appreciate you for being here, Voltaire. Thank you, even if you're being quiet. The family living here has a son, but he's all grown up, so they said I could play here whenever I want. Doesn't look like anyone is home. Gregory is not from Kaluna, but the priest in the church told us that there is an island off the southeastern shores of Marema where the people still worship the Watcher, and Gregory may be from there. However, we would have to fly to get there. So, RPG trope number 3, right? We've got guy with amnesia. We've got a distant path, and people who are willing to help you no matter what, even though they just met you. And now we've got, we have to get a Zeppelin so we can go to the place. This right here, this is an inside thing just for me. Originally, when I worked on the first VoltAge story, which hopefully will one day become VoltAge Apotheosis, which takes place after this, this little area was more developed, and there was going to be a vegetable garden over here, but there was also going to be some flowers, and there was a lady here that sold flowers, and you could buy flowers from her, and then basically like give them to various people to get items back and things like that. So, little reference there. I want an apple, but I'm too short. Hey you, could you help me please? Hey, is that an apple for me? Wow, thanks a lot. I found these playing with my friends the other day. Do you want them? You got 3 shell fragments. Thanks. Thanks a lot. You're welcome to look around, but we're keeping an eye on you, stranger. Sure thing, buddy. Oh, I probably should have read that, right? I've been reading everything since I started, so... I know my husband can be a bit gruff, but it's not his fault. We're constantly chasing thieves from Bridospa off our property. Why can't they just grow their own food? When I enlisted, I thought it would make things better for Moramans. Now I see it was all a ruse to cut the number of mouths to feed down. Why else would we get sent out there only to see the whole mission scrapped? Now there's fewer people than ever in Eastside and the old city, and Bridospa is starting to spill into our neighborhood. The royal family needs to round up all those crooks and send them into the Deadlands. The Queen doesn't care about us, just you watch. In a few more years, this whole place will be just as bad as Bridospa. Mark my words. Okay. Hey, little girl. I love to lay in the flowers and read. How about you? Yeah, it's the best. Say, why don't you take this book? Someone got it for me, but it's too hard to understand. I'd rather give it to some really smart person so they can enjoy it. You got Detailed Book. This looks like the sort of book Alan might be interested in. Oh, remember Alan and how he needed books? Each of these books has a very generic name, but based on the description, it is actually, each of these books is actually based on a real book from either physics or like metaphysics. This is The Elegant Universe. That's what this one is, which I actually have a copy of on my bookshelf. A book which claims to offer the layman an explanation of the unified theory of physics. It seems complex. This would be a perfect game for the Switch. I would like to put it on the Switch, but unfortunately, A, I don't believe that my work is good enough, and B, the RPG Maker MV that this is, I think it's MV, I can't even remember what it is anymore. This version of RPG Maker is not compatible with the Switch. The version that came out after this is. They actually have an RPG Maker app that you can get on the Switch Marketplace store that lets you put in game codes from your friends and then download their games onto your Switch. I kind of got into all of the streaming stuff, and I've bought a house now, and I only, there's only 24 hours in a day, but I had actually hoped to take some time off from this and then maybe in the future see what it would take to do the changes to put it on the Android, and then also release it on Steam. But the thing is, like, I feel it's a complete game, and I feel like it's a decent game, but I also know all the places where I cut corners. Like, I cut some corners at the end. When I got to the end of the game, I'm not going to lie, I'll own it. At the end of the game, it kind of wraps up very quickly, and it's because I'd been working on the game for 4 years. The game had been out for a year and a half by that point, and I just wanted to be done with it. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to wait anymore. I just wanted it to be finished. So I finished it. And I ended up cutting some content. There's a town that doesn't really have anything going on in there. There's references to quests that don't happen. And even though I know it's still a complete title in spite of that, I'm a perfectionist. And I feel weird putting it out on Steam or on Switch or something like that if I'm not 100% happy with it. Maybe one day, though. Is it okay if I hold your hand? Yeah, sure. But I appreciate you saying that. Mom says I have to stay close when I'm playing. She shouldn't worry so much. It's nothing but farms as far as the eye can see. Yeah, except for the prison down there. I can't stand living so close to that horrible prison. Why couldn't they build it in Brodospa? It'd make more sense to build it in the area it's needed most. I want to help Mom and Dad so I can take over the farm when I'm older. Farms like these supply food for several families, and the Moraman government buys the leftovers to feed the people too old or sick to work. Problem is, since the reclamation, we can barely grow enough for everyone. What should I make for dinner tonight? It's my turn to cook for everyone. Maybe some stew would be nice. So in VoltAge, Apotheosis, I'll say, this area has actually become more run down and more slummy, and these little areas, these like little mini neighborhoods, have actually been like walled off like this, and they're almost like little communities where like the people in this community don't trust the people in this community, and they don't get along with the people in this community, and everyone kind of just grows their own food and is very like tribal in how they deal with one another. And that's a symptom of the ongoing like slow death of Marema, which is what we're seeing here. I mean, Marema was not even the original capital city. It's just the only city that was left after the war. So the royal family relocated here, and we're actually in an area that was once like farmland around the city, and now it's been turned into like, little groups of shacks and things that are okay. It's clean. But when we go to the other side, to the western side, you're going to see it's really run down, and that's because basically a bunch of refugee camps got set up 60 years ago, and nobody really ever had a plan for, what are we going to do with these people in the future, which is what the reclamation was all about. Let's get some land over there and just get them to go over there, and all that happened was all the healthy people got killed in the war. So, anybody else notice this? I noticed it. What? Stark? It can't. Stark? I said that weird. Stark? It can't be. What the? Stark, it is you. Holy cow, did I luck out? Where have you been? I thought you'd been eaten by an antlion for sure. Nah, I got nabbed out by New Panavento, and they dragged me back here to do hard time. But they didn't know who they were messing with. I busted out easy. But I need some new clothes so I can sneak back through the checkpoint. Do you think maybe you could grab me some clothes from a shop or something? I'll have to see what I can dig up. Is there anything you want in particular? Let's see. If you could find me some sort of a military uniform, I could probably sweet-talk my way through the checkpoint pretty easily. Sure thing, buddy. Just hang tight. Stark? Did you really just volunteer us to help an escaped convict sneak past a military checkpoint? Listen, I'm not saying let's do anything crazy, alright? But dead-handers have to stick together, no matter what. It probably won't matter anyway unless we can find a military uniform lying around. Ah, but we know where we can buy military uniforms, don't we? Yes, we do, because our dev is kind and caring. There's a small bush in the way. Chop it down using the hooked axe. Ah, it's locked. Can't get in it yet. We'll have to come back later. I work at the prison, but I'm on my smoke break now. Okay. I wish we could get along with the tribes out east. Why can't everyone understand that by fighting amongst ourselves, we're just allowing Garen to keep taking advantage of us? Truth. Alright, so we're pretty much done with East Side at this point. Let's, oh wait, no, we didn't explore the restaurant, did we? Who's this guy? Oh, hello there. You look to be more well-traveled than the average person in Kaluna. Tell me, where are you from? Sorry, but I don't really have time to chat right now. Maybe some other time. Womp. Jeez, the stories I heard from the Fide Defensor guys were right. Back home, everyone is way friendlier. Posters about hygiene and good customer service. Wait, what's this? Notice to all staff. Due to an issue with our normal supplier, our stock of jointed legs for our signature dish is running extremely low. As a temporary solution, management will pay full market value for 6 bundles of jointed legs. We do not wish for any of you to unnecessarily endanger yourselves, but you may speak with Kara for more details. Huh, might be worth checking into. Are you Kara? Nope. Excuse me, are you Kara? What? Who are you? Customers aren't supposed to be back here, you know. I'm sorry. We heard that the kitchen was looking for some ingredients. What? Are you talking about the jointed legs? That notice was meant for employees only, but I guess it doesn't really matter so long as we get restocked. We're having trouble finding the number you need. Do you have any tips for where to find millipedes? I don't know. I've heard that millipedes prefer damp regions. Dead forests or old lake beds would probably be the best place to look. I need to pull this bread out at exactly the right moment. People come from all over Kaluna to sample our fresh bread. Too bad it doesn't travel well. Guess it's because of the humidity in Marema. Absolutely, I understand. Let me know about Sunday, by the way. I added you to I know you don't do Facebook, but I did add you to a messenger group with Mommy and Pingu and my sister, and I might have 1 or 2 other people that are interested as well, so we might be able to get a really big group going. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm thinking this Sunday we might be able to play if you're down. Absolutely. Thank you for being here and helping to make it so chill. I appreciate you as always for coming in, Divide. I hope you have a good rest of the week making that easy money. Easy money. Bradospa. Harland Falk, private investigator. Hey, didn't that first dog tag we found say it was from John Falk? Yup, it did, to answer your question. Yeah, I added you. It's in Facebook Messenger. It's a group just called Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome to Bradospa, the pride of Marema. Watch your mouth, your wallet, and your back, and you should be fine. Things are still pretty bad, huh? Oh, are you from around here? Then you should know things are never going to get better as long as the Queen is sitting pretty up in her fancy house. We've been scraping to get by for almost 100 years now. I understand things are difficult, but is it really fair to blame the Queen? I mean, she's just one person, after all. You best keep that loyalist talk to yourself if you're going to be wandering around here. Tell me something. You see any guards? Any people picking up trash or cleaning the buildings? Heck, you see any roads? She may be just one person, but that's what makes it easy for us to figure out who's to blame. If the Queen had spent all that money fixing up Bradospa instead of getting people killed out east, that'd be different. It's locked up tight. So when I was in the process of actively working on my game, I actually had a thing where I had a Patreon, and people who were Hunter tier followers could get their name added to one of these little tombstones, and unfortunately it was just Me and Calrea and a couple of other people that did it. So it's up to Calrea. Do you care if I read your tombstone because it'll put your real name out there, or would you rather me not? I mean, I guess I'm telling people now, so if they play the game in the future, they'll find it, but the big stones are for people that contributed to the game, like art and stuff, so do it? Okay, I'll do it. In memory, oh, well, this is my friend Mark, who passed away. And a quote, "A purpose of human life, no matter who is controlling it, is to love whoever is around to be loved." And that's from a book by Kurt Vonnegut that he was a big fan of. It was like one of his favorite books, I think, or so. It was a quote that he kept on his Facebook page. In memory of Aaron Persh, "The monsters within give shape to the monsters without." So he did all of the concept art for my first game, Last Stand, and a lot of that concept art was used to inform the designs of the battlers for the monsters in this game. Oh, well, there you go. In memory of Casey Daly, "Indecision may or may not be my problem." Oh, and this one's important too. In memory of Emma Nash, "First to offer support when success was not assured." So this is a special one. When I put out my first VoltAge game, I started working on VoltAge Apotheosis, and I was part of a group of 4 people, and I basically did all the work. One by one, they all dropped off. They all left. I tried to start a Kickstarter to help fund the purchase of art, and I made a little demo video for the game. And I told everybody, the reason I'm doing this Kickstarter, I only want to raise $600, just so that I can pay someone to do some art for the game. So I can buy art and sound, you know. And basically everybody said, "This game is trash. Why are you trying to ask money for it? You don't even have your own battlers." And I'm like, well, the thing is, I'm asking for money, so I will have my own monsters and my own music. And they're like, well, you're dumb. And they were very hateful. So I ended up pulling the Kickstarter. It was very depressing. But the one person who did support me was a woman by the name of Emma Nash, who donated a whopping $100 to my Kickstarter. Now, obviously, it ended up not coming out of her pocket, because for Kickstarter, you have to raise the full amount to get any money. But right off the bat, like the day after I started the Kickstarter, she found this and was like, "This looks really cool. It looks like something that I'd like to play, and I hope you can make it someday." And she gave me $100. So she gets a shout out in every game I ever make for the rest of my life, just because of that. So, Emma Nash, "First to offer support when success was not assured." That one's for you, Emma, and you get an extra special thing, because if you stand right here directly in this clearing in front of the statue of Emma Nash and press search, you get a really good item. Wait, there's something glinting in the grass. You got Mystic Ring. The Mystic Ring. A ring set with a glowing red stone. Whispers occasionally emanate from its core. So this ring gives you a 20-point bonus to your focus and resist stats, and it gives you a really good skill called Spirit Touch. Directly attack the foe's psyche using kinetic energy, ignores defense, and deals minor neutral damage. So this is an ability that is only used by one enemy in the game, and that's the Spook Lights, which we haven't seen yet, but they're blue ghosts with little lanterns that try to lead people astray. So this is a really good item. That's a good attack to have. Bridget's not going to be too broken with it because she doesn't have the highest magic focus in the world, but it's there. So these are all empty. These are all people that didn't give me money. I have a couple in here, though. In memory of Darren Curtis, a musician who dreamed of a royalty-free world. He was one of the musicians that gave me a lot of the music for this game, royalty-free. So, In memory of Aaron Crow, the strong, silent type. His music speaks for him. So Aaron did a lot of the music as well. I call him the strong, silent type because I honestly don't know if he's even alive. I emailed him on like 2 or 3 different platforms trying to contact him. The stuff that he gave us was it's free for commercial use. It's royalty free. But I still emailed him and was like, yo, man, I made this game and I would like for you to have a copy of it. And I sent him a code key for it. Never responded, never used the key. To this day, I don't know what happened to him. But, you know, if you're still out there, Aaron Crow, you make good fucking music. Thank you, sir. In memory of Drago, never give up. Willpower is key to success. I'm going to talk about Drago in a second. In memory of Joshua J.C. Brixton Curtis, a musician who spent his working hours fighting mooses. Fighting Mooses is the name of his little group. He's another guy that does like free for commercial use music for games and things. Okay. In memory of Hinorashito, some people think I seem like a rear end in a top hat. There's some graffiti here. They're right. So, I had to kind of learn how to do all of this stuff myself. And one of the things I learned very early on is that people are buttholes. So I'm doing my little bit now. There is an RPG Maker forum that is attached to the actual website where you buy the RPG Maker license and a lot of the assets and things. And the forum there is really big, and there's a lot of people on it, and most of them are assholes, just straight up. When I put out the version 1 demo for this game, talking about it, this guy right here, I was charging $1. Early access, $1. The game had 30 quests in it. You could play all the way to the entrance of Kaluna, basically. So all of my last stream plus all of, first half of this stream. And this guy jumped on, and he was like, there's some people out there that probably think I sound like a rear end in a top hat, but you're crazy if you think anyone will ever give you money for an RPG Maker game. And this was like after To the Moon had come out, after Witch's House had come out. There's a lot of games out there that on RPG Maker that had been made. And it set off an entire war on my stream, and I'm just standing back like, I just want people to play my game. And it blew up to the point where the mods were like, all right, you're banned. They were like muting people and threatening to ban people because everyone just started piling onto me for being such a piece of shit, for just daring to make an RPG Maker game and then ask people for $1 so that I could continue to, work on the game. Except for this guy. This guy, Drago. He jumped on and he was like, you know what? I saw this and I read all the posts and I thought about it and I made a blog post. And he made a blog post where he basically talked about every single RPG Maker game that's ever been made that was successful, and how the thing that they all had in common was that they had people behind them that supported the developers, and how, if you're going to be on the forum, it's because you love you shouldn't be on the forum just to like crush people's dreams and all this other stuff. I mean, he spent a significant amount of time basically telling this Hinarashito guy and everyone else that they were pieces of crap and that they needed to chill. So Drago is also a boss boy, and he gets my love forever as well. So that's my long rant about assholes and amazing people. I'm going to need you to back off. This is our spot. My family's lived here for 40 years, and I'm not letting anybody muscle in on our territory. Made in the shade foodstuffs. Hot made with an I. Made. Feeding Bradospo on a budget for over 20 years. So this chick, if you remember to come over here, she sells all of her food at a 10% discount versus the standard prices for stuff. So, yeah. If you're going to buy food or water, apples are a pretty solid healing item for the first half of the game. You can find a lot of them. There's actually one area where you can find like 70 of them in one area. But apples are good. 180 volts. You're saving 20 volts per apple. That's nice. Sweet tea is good. So, yeah, just keep that in mind if you play this in the future, that that's the best prices you're going to get on that stuff, other than if you meet a lot of special prerequisites for one particular area. You'll get a little bit of more of a discount. But oh, it's just a bunch of trash. My son wanted me to move east with him and his wife, but I told him I was happy living here as I have my entire life. The truth is, his mother-in-law has the personality of a pugil crab. I'd rather stay here than deal with her every single day. This old man is the father, the couple that we saved from Jalumare, where it's the guy and the girl, and the mean old lady that complains about what a dump Pedregal Springs is. That's who we're talking about. This guy, that's his son. And, yeah, and he just was like, nah, I'd rather stay here in the ghetto than live out there with that mean old lady. It's just a bunch of trash. Brodospa was supposed to be a temporary refugee camp until the Moravian government found a better solution. 50 years later, and we're still living here. Most of us have never known anything else. What is it? I'm not trying to be rude, it's just... I'm so tired. But I haven't been able to fall asleep in days. I sure hope someone comes to fill the bounty I posted in Kaluna soon. We actually wanted to ask you about that. Oh, really? That's nice. You all look like you've traveled a lot. Have you ever seen a spook light? I don't know if they're real. But I heard they have magic lanterns that make you sleep. If you could bring me 4 soul lanterns, I'd give you my whole life savings. Anything to be able to sleep again. Just reading that makes me yawn. I don't know, did anybody out there listening, did you get a overwhelming urge to yawn as well? Because the first yawn was fake, but that second one was real that I just did. Poor guy. Sure, we'll keep an eye out. Thank you. You just read the word yawn and you... I'll be waiting. That right there is probably the best piece of writing in the entire game, just because it actually evokes a physical response from the reader when they read it. Too bad this pond isn't bigger. If it was, we could keep fish in it to help feed the neighborhood. That was going to be a quest in VoltAge Apotheosis. There was a pond here, and there was a pond in a couple of other areas, and eventually when you get to Mateo in that game, you could buy fish eggs from the hatchery and then take them to these different areas and like basically create fishing points. There was going to be a whole little fishing mini game based on the fishing from Breath of Fire 2 that you could do. Better not go in there. The slums stretch on, running along the length of Kaluna's western walls. Well, so that's all we got. Now let's go over here. He watches. Finn's Bar. Huh? What do you mean, what's a dead-hander doing here? This is Brodospa. We run this town. And one day soon, we'll be sitting up in the palace doing our drinking. Just you wait, bunch of murderers. Our new ace of spades. He's one of those, whatchamacallits. Anyway, he's gonna put us on top where we belong. That poor guy. He's in here pretty much every day. I heard he was some big reclamation hero, but I guess a bunch of shiny metals couldn't change what he's been through. Don't look at me like that. You think you know me? Most people come here for the beers, but not me. This place makes the best caldo verde, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, caldo verde in Marema. Sorry, I'm next for the bathroom. Uh-oh. Who are these two shady figures, Calrea? Should we just leave them alone, or should we talk to them? I'm sure Calrea would say talk to him, but I'll give her a few seconds to be excited about it. Calrea's asleep. He's been in there for 2 days now. What do you think we should do? Talk. I don't know, but did you see the size of that axe the owner keeps behind the counter? I don't want to go in there and get chopped. Well, we can't just sit out here waiting for him to blow through all his money. Indeed. And of course, we always run the risk that he'll just make a run for it if we charge in guns blazing. Did you need something? I'm sorry, we didn't mean to eavesdrop. What you said just sounded so interesting. I think we may have found the solution to our problem. Maybe. They do look pretty tough. Hey, do you think you guys could help us with a problem we're having? There's this guy hiding out in the motel across the street. We were going to grab him when he came out, but someone warned him we were out here. Now he's refusing to come out, and the owner has already made it clear that he won't take too kindly to us dragging his customers out into the street. I'm sorry, I don't think we should get involved in whatever's going on here. Oh no, I think you misunderstood. We aren't criminals, we're bounty hunters. This guy is part of a gang of fugitives from the law. That's right. His name is Jansen, and he's suspected of all sorts of crimes, from money laundering to murder. So what do you say? Want to help make Kaluna a safer place? Do we make Kaluna a safer place, or do we say no? Yeah, we'll say yes. Awesome. He's somewhere in the motel across the road. Grab him and bring him out before the owner realizes what's going on. Once you get him outside, pass him off to us, and we can take him to the prison in Eastside. You go on ahead. We just need to close out our bill, and we'll be right along. Sorry, hon. I don't think you're quite ready for me. Anyway, I'm not working right now. I'm just checking in to make sure my girls are okay. Whoa, there's an awful lot of you, huh? You want to stay the night? We don't do nightly rates. Sorry, cutie, but Novella's here right now. Come back later and maybe we can talk. Yeah, I work here. You got a problem? He's fine. He just had a little too much fun. Excuse me, sir? Sir, we need you to come with us. You work for those bounty hunters, don't you? If you think I'll come quietly, you've got another thought coming. I can't even. So, no problems getting him out? Nope. At first it seemed like he was going to put up a fight, but then... Jeez. In any case, thanks a lot for your help. We're going to get this guy over to Eastside Prison now. Yeah, just after we ask him a few questions about his buddies. Here you go. It's your cut of the bounty. You received 2,500 volts. All right, buddy. Time to go. And away they go, carrying him. Nice. We get it. Alright, I think that's all we can really do in here, around here right now. Let's go talk to the lady in Aclapada. So now we're going back to the same little place. I forgot to check that before. We're going to see if we can catch a flight. I'm sorry, but we don't have any scheduled flights in the near future. Can you tell us why the flights have been canceled or when they'll start back up? Yes, please. It's extremely urgent that we get to Mateo as soon as possible. I'm sorry. I honestly don't have any more information. I'm not sure when the flights will be starting back up again. Just great. Guess we're walking back to New Ponevito after all. Excuse me. Oh, a bug. Always a fucking bug. I will tell you, every single version I have released of this game, I have had to fix something in this goddamn room. Every single time, no matter how hard I try. This is why it can't be on Switch. No matter how many... I have put out... ten versions of this game. I have put out 10 updates for this game, and every freaking time I have to fix something here. Amelia stands on crew. When starting Icarus. Every goddamn time. Further east than that, actually. Why? Well, as you heard, we're dealing with a bit of an issue right now. Recently, one of our Zeppelins crashed just west of the old Ensenada defense installation. Ensenada? You mean the Dead Hander Gang's main hideout? Hey, watch it. Ensenada isn't a hideout, it's a town. Biggest and best one east of the mountains, too. Well, whatever you want to call it, we have suspended all air travel until we can determine what exactly happened to our ship as well as the crew. So let me guess, you want us to look into the problem and get back to you? In a word, yes. If you can do this service for us, I can promise you passage on any of our normal flights free of charge. Doesn't seem like we have any other options, and if we say no, we'll have to pass by the crash site to get home anyway. Okay, lady, you've got yourself a deal. My name is Amelia. I will remain here and await your report. And then she appears where she's supposed to be. Yeah, I've fixed her like 3 times already. Yeah, it's like one time I came in and you could like walk on the walls, and the game had been out for like a year and you could walk on the walls and I never realized it. You could sneak over here. You could. It's always something with this. This little room right here is toxic. Okay, so we got to head to the crash site just west of Ensenada. I can't even be mad about that because A, it doesn't break the game, and B, it's just can't even be surprised. It happens every freaking time. Several hours later. Oh, wait. I got to get the military uniform for Dude Man. Y'all let me forget about that. What the hell? So this lady was selling military clothing. Hey Stark, any luck finding me a military uniform so I can get through the Trebunko checkpoint? Without it, I'm sure to get grabbed. Here, will these do? An old GMI uniform? This is perfect! The checkpoint guards wouldn't dream of stopping a guy from the Garin Military Institute. I'll be back home in no time. Hey, keep watch while I get changed. Rustle. Okay, I think I'm all set. Here, you take these. You got prison garb. I'm heading out. Listen, if I make it back, look for me in Ensenada. I have a feeling I'll be hanging out near the bar for a good long while. Peace out, bro. And there he goes. Now we can head east again. All prices are firm. Let me out, you hear me? Let me out. That sounds like Nathan. Guess he got grabbed after all. I really messed up this time. Can't you talk to the guards and work something out? So this issue, if you don't come in here, once you've completed the first Finding the Lost Prototypes quest, Nathan will cease to appear in any of his locations east of the mountains. So all of the little hidden spots he shows up to sell you shit, he will no longer appear in them. And Neela will start asking you, have you seen Nathan lately? And she'll say she's worried about him. So eventually, if you come in here and find him, there's actually like 3 different ways that you can get Nathan out. I have met the qualifications for one of them, I believe, but this is not the only way you can save Nathan. Is there something you need? We're just a small outpost. The main office is on the other side of the tunnel. About that boy in the cell, is there any way you could maybe let him go? Very funny. Wait, you're serious? No way. What if we paid you? Not a chance. And if you ask me again, I'll lock you up with him. Although I will admit, it seems a shame to lock him up in Eastside over something like this. But there's nothing I can do, unless someone really important takes an interest in his case. There's no way the military will let him go after what he did. You know, now that I think about it, his hair kind of looks more red than pink. What are you trying to say? Oh, nothing. Just wondering how my buddy Zebulon Gaiokos would feel if he knew the Moraman military had grabbed this kid off the street and threw him in prison. Zebulon? Listen, I don't want any trouble, okay? Just wait right here. Zebulon is the leader of the Dead Handers. All right, here are your things. Terribly sorry for the misunderstanding, young man. Thanks a bunch, Nolan. I'll see you guys later. When you get a chance, come talk to me at my family's shop, okay? I have something I want to give you. Thanks. I really appreciate it. You may want to do something about any records you may have of him being here. You know, just to be safe. Nolan, I cannot believe you just did that. So because we've done several quests to build up our reputation with the Dead Handers, that was a thing. You can also, once you have a certain character in your party from the Hunters Guild, you can, and you've done enough quests for the Hunters Guild, you can actually do, you can actually have that character basically use his clout with the Hunters Guild to get them to let the kid go as well. So there's 2 different options there. It's just, this is the quicker one. The other one is easier, is more obvious, I guess you could say. Like it's Stark is I guess he would qualify as a secret character sort of, because it's easy, or he's like a very easily missable character. The other character less so. So remember, sludges are effectively immune, so 99% immunity to water. Akoro Village. This is my and Calrea's like favorite town, or it's my favorite. I think it's her favorite as well. It might not be, but I know it's one of them at least. Nolan, is it really you? It's been years since I saw you last. How's your dad? Still enjoying the retired life? I'm sorry, who are you? What? I can't believe you don't remember me. I used to help your dad unload his delivery truck. He used to bring you along. It seemed like you and the Atwoods kid were always running around getting into trouble. In any case, tell your dad I said hi the next time you see him. Sure, will do. Nolan, who was that guy? I honestly can't remember him. Maybe we should try to speak with the Atwoods he mentioned? Tell your dad I said hi next time you see him. Excuse me, sir. We were wondering if you found any odd packages on your truck after your last delivery. Hey, yeah, I actually did. My son figured out how to turn it on, said something about a magic space fighter, and headed off to pick apples. Was it just one package, though? We had hoped you might have found two. Yeah, sorry, just the one. The road to get here is pretty bumpy, though. In all likelihood, it bounced out as I was heading through the woods. Perfect. We can worry about that later. For now, let's go talk to the driver's son. He said he was in the orchard, right? So first, let's go talk to the Atwoods, who live up here. Nolan? Pazuzu's breath, son. How long has it been? 2, 3 years? What have you been up to? Oh, not much. How have you been? We've been doing great. We haven't seen Junior since you got him that job in Kaluna, but he writes home every couple of weeks and he sends money when he can. Actually, I'm surprised he's not with you. He talks about you in all his letters, lets us know what you've been up to and that sort of thing. Oh, really? He didn't tell me. In any case, what brings you all the way out here? Nothing much. Just wanted to stop by, see how everyone has been. We can't stay long, though. Not a problem, not a problem. Listen, I know it might be a little crowded, but if you're ever in the area and you need a place to rest, feel free to use Junior's room. Sure. Thanks. Maybe we should check out Junior's room before we go. Let's take a quick look around and see if there's anything here that can tell us who this Junior is. And we'll sleep. Slip. An old photo of Nolan as a child playing under a tree with a young blonde-haired boy. Nolan, what is going on here? Who are these people? I really don't know. Dun dun dun! They're ripe apples. We're gonna pick all these frickin' apples. Crap. Stupid piece of junk. Excuse me, sir. Hey, can I help you? We were actually hoping to get that weapon prototype back from you. What, this laser spear? Sure, take it. It's a piece of junk anyway. I had thought I could use it to prune the dead branches off the trees, but it doesn't even have an edge. Might as well be using a club. Wait, it's not even sharp? What kind of lame laser weapon can't even cut through stuff? Right, that's what I said. Well, in any case, we should really be getting this back to SBC. They've been looking for it for a while now. Sure, not a problem. Here you go. Thank you. Mom says not to step on any of the blue flowers. She told me if I do, Lord Pazuzu will get super mad at everyone in the village. Hobbs, you're weird, buddy. There's a pile of old mail and other documents here. He's getting in the bottom of my empty bookshelf over here and, like, comfying down. Looks like a census form, an old absentee voting ballot, and a bunch of other stuff for an address in some place called Rand. Rand. Isn't that the old town? Old town, mining town? Fix, Bridget, comment regarding Rand in Jurgen house. I've found 8 things to fix so far. I remember a couple of years ago they had a story on the news about the mines being closed down. At the time, it was a big deal because the Parliament of Alton had decided to close the mines even though they were making a lot of money. What's going on, man? Someone left this tablet on. There's a story about the insurgency pulled up on the screen. swiftly brought into Garen's capital to quell the ensuing riots. Meanwhile, protests continue to grow in both strength and number across Alton in support of the insurgency, which claims the resolution is... Alright, got a couple more lore points. Another beautiful day in Akoro village. Our protector truly has blessed us. You say you're from Pedregal Springs? Never heard of it. Does your village have an Elohim protector as well? Well, about that. My mama told me that Jurgen came here all the way from Alton to help us. She said the people in charge of Alton had to give him special permission because he was so strong and important. She said he was a special soldier who kept all the big important Alton people safe from monsters and stuff. But he's been here since before I was born. I sure am glad they let him come here. Hey kid, name's Jurgen. I'm sorry. I said my own name wrong. Aww. I'm up here rain or shine, keeping an eye out for any wildlife trying to get cute. That goes for you too, you hear? Later on, Jurgen will have a couple of quests for us, but we're not strong enough to handle them yet, so. Another free apple. Apple? Please don't pay what my mother says any mind. She's getting old, and she doesn't mean any harm. We're all good Halloween-fearing folk here in Akoro. Well, now I gotta know what your mother's gonna say. Once, there was a shrine here dedicated to an ancient deity so powerful that even the Elohim feared him. At least, that's what they say. Cool beans. And an item shop. It's interesting. It seems so natural, but this item shop was actually added in the last major update of the game. Before that, this was just a building that wasn't in use. And I added it, and it just feels so right. Like, I don't know why it took me so long to do something with this building. Just a reminder to anyone who's out on the plains, I'm still in the market for 12 sharp claws. I don't really care if they come from thornheels or female shell beasts, so long as they're in good condition. If you can get your hands on them, just bring them by the shop during normal business hours so I can pay you. A. Madigan. It's not often we get travelers coming through. If you see anything you want, just give a holler. Ooh, a pickaxe. Feeling crafty, miners? It will take both hands to swing this heavy notched pickaxe. Breeze charms, apples, apple cider, tough skin, thick fur, hooked axe we have, pickaxe we don't have. We could get one for a little cheaper, but not much. We could have actually gotten one like right at the start of the game if we wanted to. We would have had to spend all of our money to basically buy stealth gens and then go. But we'll buy a pickaxe. May Lord Pazuzu guide your footsteps. Thanks, buddy. Alright, so we got a pickaxe now. And these, see, I like the gun builds for Nolan because I like to have a lot of different elemental options. But the pickaxe is actually pretty good. You know, obviously because he's not using a shield and he can't use that accessory. Oh, I need to equip this. Soothing Talisman. Gives you a 20 to everything, basically. It does have an ability called Focus Strike, which uses a shitload of AP, but it also is essentially like a critical hit every time you swing your weapon. So we'll play with the pickaxe for a while. It does pure piercing damage. Oh. Got him. And actually, I'm going to equip Stark with this instead and give him the Testify. Which, by the way, like so many things in my games, that's actually a reference to something. Shocking, I know, but that's actually all of the IMI barrel mods are actually references to things like biblical things that are sort of related, but like they're kind of like thematically linked to the underlying story of the game in some way. So they're kind of like Easter eggs, but also like foreshadowing. It's just... It's like it's just me and Calrea in here now. But I'll read it anyway. Hang on. Revelation 6, 9 through 11. Okay. When he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the witness they had borne. They cried out with a loud voice, O sovereign Lord, holy and true, how long before you will judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth? Then they were each given a white robe and told to rest a little longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brothers should be complete, who were to be killed as they themselves had been. So that's obviously from the Bible. I am not a hardcore Christian. You will notice as we get further into the game, I have references to a lot of different religions, but that fits, and it fits with what happened to the Elohim, leading up to the time known as the Fall, which was basically when the Elohim lost their dominion over man. There were some Elohim who were singled out and killed for their beliefs and for their allegiances, and they went before a higher power, basically seeking help. And the higher power essentially did nothing and said, just wait. When you're all together again, then, we'll talk. So they're basically fated. The fall of the Elohim is fated not to be avenged until such time as they are all together again on the other side, so to speak. Or not avenged, but, spoken for. Stop attacking me! Pew! Pew! Crouch. Another thing that I took a really long time to add to the game, and now I just can't believe it took me so long, is that up until the last or second to last version update of the game, the enemies actually didn't have attack animations. And I'm glad I finally sat down and just did them all, because it was something I kept putting off because there's a lot of spells and abilities in this game. And it took a long time because it was one of the early things that I did, and I wasn't really as adept in RPG Maker at the time. So it took me a long time to get that stuff done. And because it took me so long to do it, I never wanted to go back and do it for the monsters. And I'm glad I finally did, because it ended up not being such a huge hardship anyway. And it makes the game better in my opinion. So I think we have enough Alton facts now to talk to this guy. Yeah, sure. I'm always interested to know what's going on in the world. Nolan and the newspaper vendor talked about current events in Alton for a while. Hey, thanks for letting me bend your ear. It's not every day I meet a Moraeman who cares about something other than the Deadlands or the latest Bola game. Here, why don't you take this collectible coin? It's not worth anything, but if you ever find yourself in Alton, I heard some shops will give you a discount if you show it to them. I don't know if it's true or not. You got the gavel coin. I'd love to move to Alton when I retire, but I could never leave this place. It's not much, but it's home. Besides, it'd be hard to pick a place to live with so much open space. What a problem to have, eh? Alright, so we got the gavel coin. The gavel coin is probably best suited for Nolan at this point. The gavel coin, here, will give us a 25-point boost to physical attack, plus 5 to defense, plus 20 to magic resist. Or mental resist. I always say magic, but it's mental resist. Later on, we'll swap that over to a different character. But for now, that's good. Actually, you know what? I'm already going to swap it to someone else. Let me give him this. Put this on our boy. Because he needs all the help he can get in the attack power department. You can see what I'm talking about earlier in terms of like the stats. How Stark kind of lags behind in everything but luck and agility. He really is, you know, only as good as his build. He's only as good as what you do with him and the items you put on him. I have played through the game in its entirety and never used him and been fine. I have used him all the way up through the final battle and he's been useful. It really is just a matter of how you build him and how you utilize his strengths in battle. Let's return this last FP weapon. Hey, what's going on over there? I'm telling you, I'm innocent. Excuse me, is everything all right? Name's Harland. I'm a private investigator. And you're actually next on my list. Hold on just a minute. This guy's been running a con job on you. While he had you running around looking for the other prototypes, he's been back here with the FPU fan trying to reverse engineer it so he could sell the designs to Garen. What? That can't be. He told us he put the last 2 packages on the back of a truck. Nope, I pulled the security footage from Stonewall Goods. He clearly set one package in the back of the truck, looked around, and put the other one under his coat. He's as guilty as can be. So losing all those other prototypes was just an excuse? Making it look like you lost them all, and when we come back with only 3 of them, what? Blame us? You don't understand. It was all their idea. They threatened me, told me if I didn't help them, they would... You creep, I oughta... Eek! Bah. In any case, since you're back, I assume that means you found the 3rd and final prototype? Yep, we sure did. Excellent. If you could please hand it over now. Sure, here you go. Guess this means we aren't going to get paid for this one, huh? On the contrary, we are most grateful for your help and would love to be able to show our gratitude. Please allow Shield Blue Corporation to pay for you to stay at the hotel and come back tomorrow. Did you hear that, Nolan? We get a free night in that super fancy place on the north end of town. In that case, guess my work is done. See you around. The party spends a night in the lap of luxury. You got 5,000 XP. Nolan is now level 22. Bridget is now level 22. Good morning. I trust your stay was comfortable. Yes, it was amazing. I'm glad to hear it. So, last night we rushed the patents out and they were accepted at the start of business this morning. That being said, we no longer need to fear our designs being stolen. So, while the designs are not yet available for widespread purchase, we have enough on hand to allow you to buy them for your personal use. And I would like to give you 1 free FPU weapon as a gift. Wait, really? If you had them on hand, why did we need to track down the prototypes to begin with? Well, that's a bit complicated. In other words, I have no freaking clue. In any case, which of the FP weapons would you like to have? Now, if people were in the chat right now, I'd be asking them, what do you want? But since I know that they're not, I'm going to go with the FPU fan, just because I don't usually pick it. You got FPU fan. We'll take this one. Alright, here you go. And remember, you can always buy additional FPU weapons from our company's store. The supervisor went back to work. Well, Nolan, what do you think? Should we go check out the company store? So now if we come over here, Dr. Finley said for us to set aside part of the first run for you. Now we can buy FPU weapons, and they are pretty pricey, but they're very good, as you can see. Decent. Can't use that one yet. Gregory can use this one. It doesn't do a lot for your attack. It does give you the nice little defense boost, though. The saber is pretty standard. In fact, I think it... Yeah, never mind. And the FPU spear, which is interesting because it's one of the only spear weapons that doesn't do pierce damage. It just does full machine damage. Each of these weapons just does machine damage. There's no blade effect to it. So it's useful for enemies that are resistant to physical attacks but are not resistant to elemental attacks. You can still do full damage with these. That's one of the keys to them. But because they are SBC weapons, they tend to focus mostly, with the exception of the two-handed spear, because two-handed spears are just really strong. These other three end up being more useful for magic users than they do for physical attackers. So it's kind of weird. Like, if a physical attacker has them, then they're really, really good against like heavy defense enemies. But the problem is that they don't really do much for anything else. It's kind of like a situational weapon. Have a great day, and think of us next time you evaluate your personal defense needs. But the FPU fan also comes with a really nice AoE effect, which deals machine damage to all foes. So that'll give us a second area spell to attack with. Because right now all Gregory knows is Arabelle for like group damage, and we are going to eventually run into stuff that's immune to dark. And when we do, we want him to have some sort of option other than Umbra and Arabelle to fight with. Alright. Actually, you know what? We're right at the 3-hour mark, and I think I'm the only one in here because I think Calrea has passed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to park right in front of Amelia so she can tell us what the quest is, and then we'll do that next time, if there's a next time, which there may or may not be. So, nice. Well, it has been fun for me to be able to play this game and stream it. I've enjoyed being able to talk with people about it. And as I was saying at the start of the stream, I definitely need to work on, this was useful for me because I got all these little things I need to fix. But I don't think I'm going to play this again for a while. I think this might be something that I just occasionally come back to. As I get more followers, maybe like every 100 followers, I'll do an episode. So that plays out, right? I just hit 200 and I did 2 episodes, and then I'll do my next one at 300 and so on and so forth. But the game is available. If I can do my plug, the game is available on itch.io for $10 right now. It does occasionally go on sale. If you follow me on Twitter, or if you follow the name under which I made this game, which was Golden Fish Entertainment, you will be notified when there are sales. In the meantime, check it out on itch.io and download the demo. The demo is everything that I've been doing right now. It's the first half of the game. Basically, the game is split up into a pre-Mateo and a post-Mateo half. And you can do everything in the game that happens before Mateo in the demo. It's like 10 to 12 hours of content for free. So even if you don't want to buy the full game, check it out, mess around with it. I like to see the downloads more than I like to see the dollars. And believe me, there's a lot more downloads than dollars, and that's okay. I'm just happy to know that people are playing my game or checking it out. That being said, thank you everybody out there, as always, for watching. Be sure to also pop over to my YouTube, where you'll see well over 100 other videos of indie game reviews, as well as all of my old stuff that I've done since I started my Twitch account. Pretty much everything is over there. There's a couple of things that got corrupted or that didn't make it on there for different reasons, but 99% of everything I've ever done can be watched right now in all of its, long form, unpolished glory. So I appreciate, as always, everyone who came out and hung out with me tonight. I appreciate Calrea for banning the Fame Salesman. I appreciate Divide by Zero for coming in and hanging out for a while and asking me a good video game question. He always redeems really good questions. And thank you to Voltaire for redeeming the show and tell so I could show off my Pokemon Blue Chirashi, or Handbill, whichever you want to call it. And yeah, I will be back Thursday night at 7 p.m., probably doing more Halo, unless it makes me, overwhelmed with rage, in which case I might switch to something else. But for now, the plan is more Halo Master Chief Collection. We're going to keep on working at getting those legendary levels down in Halo Reach and see how far we can get. Probably not very, but I have faith. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe out there, y'all. Later.